Goldplat gives investors exposure to the African gold business through a number of operations. We're talking now to the non-executive chairman, Brian Moritz. Brian, much of our income comes from gold recovery projects, but there are other strands to the business. Explain the operations at Goldplat.
Well, at the moment, the whole of the profits come out of the recovery business. That's our traditional business. It's a mature business operating basically in South Africa and more recently in Ghana. I should stress really that it's not a business which reprocesses tailings, nothing with very low gold contents. What we do is to take gold byproducts from all the major mines in South Africa, usually running between, say, 5 grams and 25 grams per ton. We reprocess it in roughly the normal way and produce the gold from it. The reason why they give it to us is because we can do it in bulk, which no individual mine can do. So we get the economies of scale, which are not available to individual mines.
But there's another arm to your business as well, isn't there?
That's our traditional business. What we're intending to do is to use the cash we're generating from that to examine and get up and running gold mining projects. Of course, when we get into mining itself, on a large scale, we'll have to raise mining finance, but we can get to the bankable feasibility stage by simply using the cash we're generating, and that we think should add value for shareholders more than any other way of using the cash.
You are cash generative at the moment and still looking for stockpiles, I understand, of material to feed the gold recovery business. How much stockpile do you need? How much are you looking for? Or is it just a question of receiving what's available?
We've actually got plenty. The mines ask us to take their byproduct away, and we don't really want them to ask anyone else because we have sort of 60% roughly of the business in South Africa. And we don't want to let anyone else into it. So when anyone like Anglo rings us up and says, we've got this byproduct, would you please collect it? We say yes, and we give them a nominal amount for it, take it away and stockpile it. So we've got several years of piles there. Frankly, we think it's better off than having an ore body because that's a finite amount, whereas as long as mining takes place in South Africa, there will always be byproducts for us to process.
You're moving into Kenya with a more traditional sort of mining project, aren't you? Describe how that's going, because you've got to a stage now where you're waiting for one final bit of the jigsaw to put in place, aren't you?
That's right. It's taken us far longer than we had hoped, frankly, to get the mining license sorted out. We are really at the last knockings at the moment. We're expecting it any day. One problem there is that we had an exploration right and we were producing small amounts of gold, but the Kenyan law says you're not allowed to export gold with an exploration right. So we've had to stockpile the gold we've got there. It's only $500,000 worth, but we would quite like the $500,000 until we get the mining license. And at that point we can start to export the gold.
Do you anticipate that's going to be soon?
We have recently been given the right to restart the plant. It was all closed up while this was being considered. We've been given a right to restart the plant, and we can reprocess stuff that we've got on the surface at the moment. But we're not allowed to go underground at this moment, but we're expecting to within a short space of time.
How significant is this asset going to be for Goldplat?
Well, it's our first move into mining. It's not going to break the mold. You know, at the moment we're only reckoning to produce 5,000 ounces a year out of that, and when we get into mining at a larger scale, it's likely to be in West Africa. We're examining a project in Burkina Faso at the moment, and we're also looking at other potential mines in Burkina Faso and Ghana. We quite like the environment in West Africa. Ghana in particular is very easy to do business these days. We have a very good relationship with the Ministry of Mines. They're welcoming us with open arms. We haven't been asked for bribes. We're really quite happy with the way the Ghanaians are conducting their country at the moment.
Are they going to be the projects going to take you through to your target? As you say, you want to build yourself into a mid-tier gold producer through the acquisition of known deposits with targets between 200,000 and 1 million contained ounces. That's your target.
At the moment we're, as I say, working on the Niamey project in Burkina Faso. That has the ability, if we drill enough holes in it, to be between 500,000 and 1 million ounces, we estimate. But we haven't drilled those holes yet. We're initially expecting a JORC compliant resource by the end of this year, but that will be considerably smaller than that. But we are looking at other projects with contained gold, which we know have got contained gold of that sort of amount. Probably we'd like to get up to 2 million ounces under our control, and then perhaps we'll think again at that point.
I've said you're cash generative. There are some people saying, when you're going to pay us a dividend, those that currently hold shares. Is that something you're talking about, a dividend strategy?
Well, it's something we constantly have under review with our brokers. there are three opinions on the two possible paying dividend or not, I'm afraid. It's just not an easy one to work out. Our strategy has always been to use the cash we're generating to develop new resources and go into mining. So if we paid money out to the shareholders, then we would have probably to raise money with the other hand. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. But there is something about being on the list of dividend payers, which not many junior miners or people in our market sector have achieved.
One final question has got to be about the share price, around about 10 pence a share at the moment. You've got one Edison researcher's evaluation of between 17 and 26 pence. This could potentially double your share price. How frustrated are you about the fact that investors don't seem to understand the value of Goldplat?
Extremely frustrated. We've multiplied our profits by 3 times and the share price has actually gone down by 10%. And that just defies all logic as far as we're concerned. We think that there's an overhang of shares, which when we're looking to get rid of that in the near future, and we think that really the price ought to go up to somewhere nearer where Edison say it should be. Once we've managed to do that, we're always hopeful.
Okay, Brian Moritz, thanks for joining us, the non-executive chairman there of Goldplat.
Thank you very much.